Hi, my name is Francis Vallejo. I am an illustrator in Detroit, Michigan. I also am a full-time instructor at the College for Creative Studies in Detroit. I do illustrations for the publishing industry, for comic books, and for really exciting projects. The project in Alaska is with the Voices of the Wilderness, and what they do is they send an artist out into the refuges in Alaska, and we document our experience. What did I see? Experience it with me. It started in Fairbanks, and then I went into the Canning River bird camp and lived with some biologists. And I walked up and down their routes while they studied small animals and birds. These biologists are hardcore. They would walk up to 15 miles a day. I wanted to feel what they were feeling, put the same amount of effort into the experience that they were. While I was doing that, if I was able to just pull out my sketchbook and sketch them, when we were at base camp in the morning eating breakfast, I would sketch. I also had a lanyard on my arm with a camera, and I was just documenting everything. One of my favorite memories was arriving at bird camp and thinking, this is stunning. It's also flat. I knew that going in that it was going to be a tundra. As someone that likes to play with, again, depth and dynamic compositions, I'm like, well, I have a long horizon, you know. The memory of when we walked to the top of Alaska and the terrain changed into sand and there was driftwood. And I remember starting to lay on the ground and putting these foreground shots of this driftwood. That was the moment when I realized this tundra, this flat space, that how the people interacted with it and how I could take a very micro approach and look at the small world that was on the ground. That's when it clicked. I'm like, I got it. So I spent the rest of the residency laying on the ground. So as a result of sketching when I could, always photographing and just living the experience, I felt like I had the material to then bring it back here in my studio and then create a body of work that I'm going to share with my community and hopefully connect my city with those in Alaska. I represent a population in the urban community and the city communities. This is something that someone from 8 Mile in Detroit or someone from Philly, it exists for them as well. But there's refuges all over the place. Here in Detroit, we have one off the Detroit River. They have one inside the city of Philadelphia. And now more than ever, they're very important for us to support them, to also experience them. The efforts to keep these thriving are a big deal, and I had such a powerful experience with them that I'm telling everyone, just look to see where your refuges are at. We need them. Going into this project, it was better than what I could have ever expected. I spent 7 days with 14 people, and I remember calling up some friends and family near the end and saying, I'm not sure I've ever had a warmer human experience. And when I remember this, it's about the people of Alaska. And that's the basis of the body of work, is to celebrate the natural lands, but how the natural lands are able to bring together community. Those experiences impacted me profoundly, and it was a privilege to be part of that. I think I looked at this as a way to escape the busy world, and I did, but I found that escape still with people, and that was a great lesson to learn.